So hello gamers, today I'm going to be ranking every revolver in Phantom Forces. Revolvers are an interesting class, there are 6 of them, and a lot of them are not very used, but there's one that is very popular. So today we're going to be ranking all of them and seeing which ones are good and which ones are bad. And if there are ones that are not very used, we're going to talk about why they're not very used. But yeah, let's get on with the video. And the game ended just now, that's very awesome. Oh wait, what? That was a, what you could, what? Wait. If I saw that correctly, that is the best thing I've ever seen in this entire game, dude. Hey, get out of the way, dude. Hey. Anyways, our first revolver is the rank 4 MP412 Rex. Now, this is one of the worst revolvers, and it used to be considered really good, but most people don't really use it anymore. It has a really good headshot multiplier. That's basically all it's got going for it. Other than that, it has a lot of recoil. Its damage per shot is like just kind of on par. It has like 56 to 28. It has like 600 RPM. Is it 600? Yeah, actually, it's quite a bit. But a very slow reload, and it can't one-shot to the body, only to the head, which is pretty normal for a revolver. Like most revolvers can't do that. As revolvers go, I'd probably rank this one as the worst in the entire game. It has really nothing going for it. It's basically objectively worse than a revolver later on the list. Actually, now that I have a Z point, can I actually go for headshots? Because this thing has probably some of the worst irons I've ever seen too. I really just don't like them, and it's kind of annoying because the thing about revolvers is that you kind of got to go for headshots unless you're using like the executioner, which is a spoiler for later in the video, I guess. But yeah, now I can actually go for heads. When the irons are just so blocky, it's really hard to hit stuff. Okay, this is way better though. Actually, I just 3-time hit marker that guy. This has a little bit of a learning curve because it has a ton of recoil but very fast recovery speed, or at least pretty fast recovery speed. But yeah, this is definitely going to be on the lower end. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. It's probably one of the lowest ranks I've given in one of these ranking videos, but I think I'll actually try to put some of the worst guns lower on the list, so that way we actually have like a 4 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 instead of like a 6 to a 10. It's kind of just objectively worse than other revolvers. Next up, we have the Mateba, and I'm going to put a Z point on this one as well because I just realized like the Z point is kind of good for hitting headshots with a revolver. I actually like it a lot more than these irons. Plus, I don't have anything else basically. The Z point is cool because it's got a little bit more zoom than like other red dots in the game. The thing about this one is that it does more damage at range. I think has better ranges, a faster reload time, and less recoil. The only difference here is that it has a 2.5 times headshot multi instead of a 3. The MP412 Rex can't one-shot headshot all ranges. If it could, that would be insane. It would be very good. So it doesn't make a very big difference to the headshot kill range. But I will say the other, probably the biggest downside of this one, kind of annoying like recovery time. If you look, it takes a little bit longer. So what that actually means is that you might not be able to tap fire it as much, but when you spray, it's going to be a lot more effective because it has less per shot recoil. So it's kind of interesting. I feel like this one also feels kind of sluggish. Kind of the same thing as the MP412, but like I said, it does more minimum damage, same damage up close, I believe has better damage ranges. If you look at this reload, this is a lot better. It's probably like 3 seconds instead of like 4.1, and 4 seconds is just so long, and speed loader doesn't even help that much. Just so annoying. This is 3.6 and the Rex is 4.1, which is half a second difference. That will save you in a fight. Next up though, we have the 1858 New Army, my most kill revolver and one of my favorite guns in the entire game. We'll start this one off without the snake shot conversion, which is the best conversion on the gun. Without snake shot, it kind of shoots like this. Oh my gosh, I hit a headshot. I wasn't even shooting at that guy. I was just shooting. So it's very slow, but the second you press T and then aim down sights, it gets fan fire. Basically triples the RPM. In this mode, you might miss a little bit more, but you're going to shoot so much faster that your time to kill is a lot faster. And also, this has a very good headshot kill range. I believe farther than the executioner. And I think it 3 shots anywhere in the body, all ranges. Oh, I forgot to rank the Mateba. Mateba gets a 5.5 instead of a 4. So it's a little bit better, but still pretty bad. But this is one of the best revolvers. I really think with this fanfire, you still can hit stuff. Just make sure you have a laser on your gun. It's literally just alt aim, but it increases your fire rate. And alt aim is still pretty accurate. It's still as accurate as aiming. It's just you have to aim with the laser, which is a little bit harder. Now we're going to talk about the snake shot conversion, which does 33 to 20 and has 6 pellets. So the pellet damage is incredibly good, especially at range. Like a 5 pellet kill at range is actually better than I think every shotgun in the entire game. However, it has less pellets, so the KSG does 32 times 8. It does a little bit less damage, but because it has more pellets, it actually does like more damage overall. Sometimes you're going to get a 99 assist count, which is annoying, but a lot of the time you're going to 1-tap or 2-tap, and it's going to be easier to actually aim. What is that guy doing? So the snake shot conversion basically just makes it a shotgun revolver. The RPM and the reload time and everything, they're not insane, but it's pretty good. And it's like, it's a shotgun at this point. I was going to give my shotgun to this dude, which is Kylo Ren Gaming, aka Lofted Planks. I was was gonna give him it because I know that he doesn't have any of the update guns. If you're good at hitting headshots, you can one-shot kill a lot farther without snake shot. But if your aim is bad like me, or you want a one-shot to the body because you're bad at the game like me, then of course just use this one because it's really good. I just love this conversion. It's so much fun to feel like a cowboy, except you're just the worst player ever. It should shoot snakes, man. If you only hit heads, then snake shot is just worse. It's like slugs. You know, if you actually are good, then slugs are way better than using a shotgun. But oh my gosh, that's an if you can't, like me, and you want a one-shot to the body because you can't hit heads, and you want a really spammy shotgun up close, this is like better than Zerbu and Saiga 12U, at least for me. But yeah, I keep forgetting I'm supposed to be ranking these, and this one, in my opinion, gets an 8.5 out of 10. There's a little bit of room for it to be better, especially considering you can only alt aim it, and it doesn't have a lot of pen, it has low muzzle velocity. But overall, this is one of the best revolvers in the game, and I remember some people saying before the Executioner got buffed that it was better than the Executioner, but we'll talk about the Executioner in a little bit. Next up, we have the Redhawk 44, though. In my opinion, this probably has the best irons of any of the revolvers in the game and packs a lot more of a punch. Does a little bit more maximum damage, but a lot more minimum damage, and I believe it has a little bit more muzzle velocity than some of the other revolvers in the game. It also 3 shots anywhere in the body at all ranges, instead of other revolvers, which are 4. You know, the Mateba and the MP412 Rex are 4 shot at range. This one does a nice 35. Oh my gosh. Apparently it has a 108 stud at least headshot kill range, because I don't think that guy was actually hurt. But yeah, as they say, with great damage comes great recoil. And this thing has pretty bad recoil. It feels a lot like the MP412 Rex, but it is made up for by the fact that its irons are actually good, and its damage and headshot kill range are better. And I think it has less RPM, but let's be real, the maximum RPM you really need to shoot a revolver at is like this, and that's why it doesn't really matter that the Desert Eagle Mark XIX has, it has 400 RPM. It's not going to be a big deal most of the time, unless you're like just bad. In fact, sometimes it might be better for it to have less RPM, just so you don't spam it as hard. So yeah, this has more muzzle velocity, better damage ranges, double the pen of some of these other revolvers, same ammo capacity and stuff, but a faster reload, I believe. Yeah, so this is the fastest reload so far, except for the 1858, which has a faster reload as well. I'm just saying the 1858 is really good. But yeah, the Redhawk definitely has the best irons in my opinion, and this has access to a stock, and the stock is good. We'll say a 7 out of 10. I mean, nobody really uses this gun, but I'd say it's actually pretty good. But then next up, you have the Judge. Now, the Judge does, I think, 40 times 4. Let me check, actually. Yeah, 40 times 4 to 20 times 4, 300 RPM, 2,000 studs per second muzzle velocity. Let me actually see the spread on this thing. Okay, that spread is, it's alright. So it does 40 damage a pellet, but it only has 4 pellets. So I think, yeah, you actually have to hit more of a percentage of your pellets. So you have to hit 3 out of 4, which is 75% of your pellet, versus the 1858, where you only have to hit 50%, because yeah, it's 3 out of 6 pellets, yeah. So more damage, but it's not really a big deal considering like it's a shotgun. But what are the downsides? First off, the recoil is very high considering, I mean, it has probably the same as like the MP412 Rex. Yeah, definitely. But has way worse recovery speed, has 5 rounds instead of 6, way less reserve ammo, 25 instead of 42. You're gonna run out of reserves so fast on this gun, and 20 damage at range, but that's the same as the 1858 snake shot. The big comparison here is the 1858 snake shot, since this is a shotgun and the 1858 snake shot is a shotgun, but I think it probably has worse choke, so probably about the same spread but less pellets. I would just say like, and here's the problem, this has 300 RPM and you can't shoot it that fast. If you shoot it that fast, it's just, I can't even get it to shoot that fast. Let me actually try to, okay, there we go. That's impossible to shoot that fast unless you like aim down there. I don't know. Let me try to actually no, it's impossible. Aim down here. There we go. Yeah, now it's possible. That's the trick. You just gotta aim really far down and then you can hit the recoil cap, but you have to be shooting it consistently. Okay, it kind of just sucks. Definitely a really fun gun to use, but the 1858 is kind of just better. Aiming speed is 6.2. Doesn't change your walk speed though. What? Actually, that's probably pretty good. So with a full attachment setup, this is pretty good, but default versus a default 1858 with snake shot, 1858 is gonna take the cake here. But yeah, the Judge, I'm gonna give an 8, but then you have the final revolver, the Executioner. Now this has some pretty big downsides, and I'll go over the downsides first. First off, it has the slowest RPM of any revolver. Technically, the 1858 has less, but when you alt aim, the 1858 has way more. It also has the slowest walk speed of any secondary in the entire game. Yes, you heard me right. Any secondary in the entire game, which is just, look at this. It's just so sluggish. You can just M-slide and like make it faster, but still, if you're not that good and you can't M-slide, maybe that's kind of a big downside. It also has like this recoil. Even though it shoots slower, it has that much recoil and a very, very slow recovery time. As you can see, to like actually tap fire, it's going to be impossible to really shoot it at 250 RPM, which is its max. But here's the really big upside of this, and the thing that makes it the best revolver in the entire game. It one-shot kills to like 55 studs to the torso, not to the limbs, but to the torso and to the head very, very far. Probably like 100 stud headshot kill, 55 stud or something torso kill range, which is farther than the Desert Eagle XIX, and has a muzzle velocity of 2000, 1 stud of pen. Its irons are actually pretty good as well. I see a lot of people running like a mini and delta on this, but like I feel like, I don't know, these are... I'm so good. I feel like spirals. It makes all the other revolvers just kind of... Does it do the spin, though? It doesn't do the spin. Okay, so what we've come to the conclusion of is, of course, the MP412 Rex is better because it spins. And if this doesn't spin, it's a 0 out of 10. Just kidding. This one gets a 9.5 out of 10. I feel like, personally, it's a little bit worse than the XIX. I know that it one-shots a little bit less, but the XIX has a faster walk speed, more RPM, less recoil, a bigger mag, a faster reload, can two-shot torso all ranges, and I don't think this one can. Still 9.5 out of 10. The XIX, I'd say, is a 10, but I get it. This does one-shot a little bit more, and it also feels more powerful because of the recoil. XIX torso kills like 15 studs less, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a pretty big difference. If it had a spin animation, yes, it would get a 10 out of 10, but it doesn't. But yeah, anyways, that was ranking every revolver in Phantom Forces. If you guys enjoyed, please like and sub, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.